Hello, I'm Tim Beggins, president of Elk Trading Company. In this, the top news for natural gas. Number one, the Atlantic Basin tropical activity has now started to fire up. Number two, China manufacturing activity has contracted now for the third month in a row. Number three, Iraq is set to purchase its first LNG cargo from Accelerate Energy. And number four, Europe is set to cut off Russian LNG imports by 2027. Let's turn to the spot August contract. August prices are down. We're trading at 350 and 3 ticks, down 23.6 cents, now 23.8 cents, or 6.37%. As you can see here from the daily chart, we've given back all of our gains from Friday. We just could not rally. And the reason for that, the heat has started to dissipate, and we've lost Corpus Christi LNG, one of the two trains out there, excuse me, more than one train, and we lost about a half a BCF of gas demand. Right now, we are looking at pivot support here. We are currently looking at the next level, the second pivot support, which comes in at 343 below the market right now, and well below that at 334.60. But we are below the daily pivot at 366.80. Again, this is based on some lack of forward weather support and, of course, lack of LNG export capacity. And look at the hourly chart here. We're using the 9 and 21-day moving averages to kind of make sure that we watch the market carefully from a technical perspective because we may not know all the fundamental news. And as you can see, it cracked below that 9-day period moving average and continues to walk its way further south all the way down toward its recent low here at 340 and 3 ticks. So we'll look to see if this holds in this area because the RSI is indicating that it may be oversold. We also have a bullish storage report coming up. So what else is going on? Well, we've got the front to back spreads. They're they're gaining back some ground they lost on Friday. And right now, currently, we are up 4.1 cents now to 139.70 for the Jan versus the August spread here. That's up over 3%. We'll look to see if it can move even further. If the front month continues to be weak against the back of the curve, we're looking at potential targets. And so what do we use? We use right here from tradingview.com, we use this trend-based Fibonacci extension. Take a most recent low off to most recent high, back to our recent low, and that gives us our Fibonacci extension targets. In this case, the next one here is 158.90 for the Jan versus the August spread. And for the Jan versus the October spread, our next target is 134.5. Right now, we are up 2.3 cents on this particular spread, up to 126.20. And looking at the weather, well, the 8 to 14 day looks about the same as Friday, which is above normal for the Pacific Northwest and above normal for the Southeast along the Gulf Coast. And looking at the heat index, well, we've still got some lingering excessive heat index problems around Washington, D.C., back through South Carolina and parts of the desert Southwest. As we move through the forecast period, some of that starts to dissipate along the East Coast, but starts to build in the West Coast. And then all of a sudden on Wednesday, we've started to get some excessive heat warnings in the Montana and the Dakotas. And as we get into Friday, we start getting it back into Chicago, all the way back to St. Louis and parts of Louisiana. And then more extensive on Saturday before we start to move that further east. What else is going on? The tropics. We've got our second storm of the Atlantic Basin, which was Barry. Barry came on shore near Tampico, and it looks like it might pull in toward parts of Texas if some of these forecast models hold. That'll be good because it's been very, very dry from San Antonio all the way back to El Paso, so any rain would be appreciated. Our next area of concern is this area here off of the Bahamas and Florida, which has about a 20% chance of cyclone formation in the next 7 days. Let's take a look. As you can see, this is Barry as it moved on shore. And then we've got this area here off of Florida, which is going to be our main concern going forward. There's Barry's track. As you can see, some of these tracks are pushing it into Texas off to the west. This is well away from the LNG and the industrial commercial sector along the Gulf Coast. And here's our area of next concern. This is Bahamas off of Florida. As you can see, this is nice swirl action here. And we'll look to see if there's any further development. Right now, it's disorganized. And again, we've got the Saharan air layer or dust, which is inhibiting any potential growth here in the mid Atlantic basin. But it also may inhibit this storm system here around Florida and the Bahamas. As you can see, we've got a big swath of it in right now is on land here in Texas and Louisiana. And another big swath of it is coming through the Caribbean. And even more is coming off of Africa right now. So potentially for the mid Atlantic basin, very little hurricane activity going forward. And we're waking up to some warm temperatures along the US Gulf Coast, all the way back up into New York City, as you can see today. How are our stocks doing? This is the oil and gas E&P sector. Market cap between $2 and $10 billion and a short float over 10%. We've only got 6 stocks now, as Civitas went off the board last week. And as you can see, it's down. Everything is down because gas and crude oil prices are lower. The worst one today, Comstock, giving back some of its gains it had even as early as Friday. And this CRK is down 3.41%. So again, recapping for natural gas, we are currently trading 348.5 down 25.4 cents or 6.79%. And we'll look to see if pivot support at 343 holds. Otherwise, we're looking for 334.60. And we've got a bullish storage report coming up on Thursday. Early estimates around 50 BCF injection. Still, it's the second lowest injection at this time of the year in the last 5 years. Last year was the lowest, around 32 to 34 BCF. Thanks for listening. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. We'll see you soon.